What's up, guys? Episode number 12, Punt Talk. It's been a while since Super Bowl. Uh, we are here to talk poker. There has been so much drama in the last couple days with poker. I just felt like we should talk about it. If you don't like poker, then sayonara. You can leave the pod right now because we're just talking poker today. Um, this all I haven't really released many pods of poker lately. Like, I was talking a lot about that Jack Force scandal at Hustler Casino Live. Still one of my favorite live streams, or it is my favorite live stream. I watch it all the time. Haven't done many pods since that, but there's been a lot of drama, and recently it's resurfaced and there's even more drama. So as of right now, I think I said in a couple pods ago that Nick and Ryan, the owners of Hustler Casino Live, Nick has his own podcast. I watch that too. He always is answering questions about it. He's I think he's very upfront, very honest, genuine. Him and Ryan will tell you how it is. All of the investigations are public knowledge. They've been very transparent with everyone. There were lie detector tests taken. And, they're just ready for this to be behind them. As of a couple podcasts ago that I did, there was a conclusion that there just wasn't anything found. They couldn't find anything. So until proven guilty, they're just saying that Robbie is innocent. Now, she might be super shady. This Rip guy might be really shady. The guy that worked for them, that stole chips and 10 grand off of Robbie's stack, obviously he is very shady. I think they're still trying to find that guy, Brian. But yeah, he has like a warrant out because Robbie, I think, is trying to get her money back from him. And Hustler is doing everything not Hustler Casino, but Hustler Casino Live, the stream, is doing everything they can to make sure it's right for Robbie. They've even talked to Garrett many times about trying to see if they can have a meeting with Robbie or if they can have a meeting just with him and try to figure out how to get her money back, because they went through all of this 2 months of investigations, lie detector tests. They had cybersecurity, the California Gaming come in. They had everyone look into this, and no one could find anything. And they're trying to see if Garrett can come to some sort of conclusion about kind of biting the bullet and, giving her money back. Because they believe if he wrongfully accused her of doing something and demanded in front of all of the poker staff of Casino Live, in front of all the players, demanded his money back, which she did give to him, she might, she deserves, well, it's only fair that she deserves this money back, right? So they're having a very hard time getting a hold of Garrett. But why all this drama is coming back up is because Hustler Casino Live announced they're doing $1 million game in May. The blinds are 1,000, 2,000. Some of their highest stake poker guys that they've had on their stream is going to come back for this game. And of course, the question comes up all the time. This is going to be in May. It's $1 million buy-in. Like I said, $1,000, $2,000 blinds. But the question is Garrett going to play? Is he finally going to break through the 6-month shadow of no streaming? And is he going to play in this game? Because Garrett was the face of Hustler Casino Live. And Nick Vertucci, on his podcast a couple days ago, had a player who is name's Ben. His Twitter handle is blankcheckben. He is some sort of big time investor. Got a lot of money. Believe he invested early on in Uber and DoorDash. And his thing is he was saying on the podcast, because Nick had him on the other day, he is a big investor in the very small, just startup companies. He says he loses 90% of the time with these companies, but when he wins, Uber, DoorDash, he wins big. So he's a venture capitalist, or whatever you call that. Big time investor guy. So he's based in LA, poker player, just not pro, just rec player, but he plays high stakes because he has a lot of money, and he plays on Hustler Casino Live. A lot of recreational players that have money to just burn, literally light on fire. They want to. All these guys in LA want to play in the Hustler Casino Live game because you can't find games these sizes anywhere else. So you have a lot of recs playing, not professional poker players, just recreational players. They just want to play higher stakes. Well, Ben was on. He is a regular on Hustler Casino Live, and they started talking about the $1 million game and how Ben wanted to play. He mentioned Nick Airball, Nick Airball is another regular of the Hustler Casino live stream. He is some sort of I don't even know what he does. He's some sort of like investor too, I think, or financial advisor, banker, something. But the guy literally plays on all the streams. He is always in the casino in the background. He has all these private games on Twitter. He's always tweeting about playing poker. No one know he talks about how he plays like 100 hours a week of poker or some crap like that. Like, is that even possible? I don't even know. He's 80 to 100 hours. I mean, the guy cannot work. So everyone wants to know, where does this Nick Airball, he goes by his nickname, Nick Airball, where does this guy get his money to play in these games? And we'll talk about this later. He comes up to be the main person of the drama, but back to Ben and Nick at Nick's pod a couple days ago on Monday or Tuesday. Ben brought up the $1 million game. And then he brought up, do you think this will be the game that you guys bring Garrett back? And Nick, one of the owners, hasn't really said, he's said in all his pods, like, I mean, we're welcome for Garrett to come back, but he won't come in contact with us. We've tried to contact him, talk to him with Robbie, try to figure out if we can figure out a equal conclusion that helps everyone, because you did take Robbie's $100,000 back that, according to all the investigations, she won fair and square. Is he going to come out of the dark and play in this game? And Nick always says he's welcome back, but for this pod with Ben was really asking him a lot of hard questions, and Nick was answering them. And Nick straight up said, for right now, he's not welcome back. And I do not believe he will be welcome back for the $1 million game. Because I don't think he's like, I really don't know if Ryan's ever going to have him back. Ryan does all of the lineups. So all the players and Ryan, they have, text messages. He texts all the players, you're playing this night, this is who you're playing with. Really, really hard job trying to organize all this crap. Especially when you have all these prima donnas like, oh, well, I can't play this guy. I don't want to play with this guy. Well, apparently, Nick kind of, broke the ice and said that Garrett was one of the biggest prima donnas out there. Garrett always wanted his lineups a certain way. He never wanted to play with pros, is what Nick Airball said in someone else's podcast, but we'll get to that in a sec. But they're saying how Garrett never wants to play with pros. He always wants a soft lineup, which I don't know if I believe, because I've seen Garrett play with pros, but he also does play in a lot of the Hustler Casino Live. Like I said, it's a lot of recreational players. It's not a lot of professional poker players. It's just people with a lot of money that want to spend a lot of money playing poker. But Garrett, being a professional poker player, would always get in the middle of it and play with all these wrecks. And now that it's coming out how much of a prima donna he was about the game needs to be like this, these need to be the blinds, we're going to be straddling, this is how it's going to be doing, blah, 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 blah. And then he had a banned list from who he banned from his games. And this isn't even his stream. Like, he basically was the face of Hustler Casino Live because he's a very, very good high-stakes cash player that everyone wants to watch. So, Hustler started up in 2022. 2021. They're on like a year and a half. And they brought Garrett in from Live at the Bike to be the face of their stream and to get the followers, to get the viewers. They felt like they needed Garrett. And Nick and Ryan had a good relationship with Garrett when they all played together at Live at the Bike. Ryan and Nick branched from Live at the Bike, made their own stream at Hustler, and brought Garrett with them. And for a year, Garrett called his shots. he had a bunch of people banned from his games. I'm not playing with this guy. I'm not playing with this guy. And apparently, one of the guys who has the biggest mouth in poker was Nick Airball. He played with him on stream a few times, but then apparently said, I'm not playing with this guy anymore. So Nick Airball, when he started at Hustler Casino Live, he's one of the main characters right now. A lot of people say that he is the new Garrett. Like, Garrett was the face, but now since Garrett's gone because the Jack forehand, Nick Airball's the face of the live stream. And I'm kind of thinking Ryan and Nick are okay with that. That's why they're kind of saying, Garrett's banned. We don't want him back because he's a prima donna. He won't try to talk to us about Robbie and figure out if we can figure out a conclusion that's fair for Robbie. And he also, what was the other thing they said? We were saying, calls the shots, prima donna. Oh, and just all the trouble that he put them through the Jack forehand. They feel like they were doing him a favor by having him on their stream, winning thousands of dollars every night, being the face of the stream, letting him call his shots when they should never have done that in the first place, letting him call his shots. And during all of the madness of the Jack forehand and all of the backlash that Hustler Casino Live was getting because Garrett accused her. Hustler never said like, oh man, she's definitely cheating. Garrett's the one that took his chips, asked for his $100,000 back from Robbie from the hand that was supposedly set up, and left the stream and never talked to Ryan or Nick again. And they sat in the pits of Twitter just getting, shit thrown at them the whole time and just how they're horrible people, they're cheats. And not once did Garrett ever say like, hey, listen, these people are good people. I've dealt with them for years. I'm the one accusing her. Leave them alone. He never once said anything like that. He went just ghosted everyone, went mute. And that's another reason why Nick and Ryan don't want him back. Prima donna, tried to call his own shots. They agreed with anything. They did anything he wanted, and he never stuck up for him. And I think just recently, even though it's like 6 months later, something clicked. And they're like, you know what? We don't want to deal with people like that. We got a great crew. We got great characters on the show. We got great lineups. We got a good fan base. We don't need Garrett. So they're kind of showing him a point, which I don't know. Maybe I agree with. Maybe I agree with this. You can't. I don't know. You can't have someone just come into your business and call the shots, right? When he has no stake in the game, But anyways, back to Ben and Nick. Nick's explained this on his podcast, and Ben asks when's Garrett's coming back. And up to this point, everyone thinks he's coming back at some point. And Nick shocks the poker world by saying, you know what, for right now, he's not welcome back. And then Ben goes, so are you saying he's banned? And Nick might have put his foot in his mouth here, but he goes, you know what? I think you're right, Ben. I think that's what I'm saying. He's banned from our stream. So now the poker world is just blowing up. And you have Doug Polk, who is a professional poker player, who is a stream owner as well for the Lodge, probably the second or third biggest stream out there. There's Lodge, Live at the Bike, and Hustler. Hustler, clear-cut favorite at the top, then Lodge and Bike. Doug Polk has his own podcast, so of course he has to bring this up and talk about the huge news from the Nick Vertucci podcast. And somehow Garrett tweets out of nowhere. What did he because Doug's talking about Garrett, whatever, and Garrett tweets, "Make no mistake, I have chosen to avoid all poker streams for the last 6 months, not the other way around." Basically saying, Hustler's not kicking me out. I chose to stay away. And my life has been awfully blissful in the interim. I still may hop on a stream I trust later. Funny how he throws out "I trust." But until then, stay thirsty and keep using my name for clicks. Doug Polk. Then he goes on with another one saying, Doug Polk is hilarious, especially the memes of me looking like someone just shot my dog. No question. I was more than a bit over dramatic throughout the Jack 4 ordeal. There are far worse strategies in life. You'll likely see me back on a stream soon enough. Has been lit, whatever that means. So now there's Garrett and Polk drama. And someone commented on that, one of those tweets, and was like, hey man, you need to go get the new Hustler Casino Live guy. You know, the big guy, Nick Airball. You got to go play him heads up. Like, everyone in poker wants to, like be all high and mighty. Look, well, let's play heads up. Let's play heads up. And you need to go play this Nick Airball guy heads up and just take him down. And Garrett says, PC Garrett has died. Airball is a bad poker player. And much worse, human being. Fuck that guy. So Nick Airball responds with, I'm a bad person. I don't block people from games. I don't rank the recreational players I want to play with. I battle anyone. And most importantly, when I get owned, I don't ask for a refund. Shots fired on the Jack 4 end. Oh boy. So it's just, and then you know, everyone that plays on the Hustler Casino live stream is coming to Nick Airball's side. And it's just saying, like Ben, who was on the show with Nick, another high stakes Hustler Casino live guy. So he says, I may have had my battles with Nick Airball on the felt, but I have also gotten to know him outside of poker. I don't care about how good he is or isn't. He is one of the most loyal, honest, and big-hearted people in the community. This is what the Ben guy said. And then all these guys that play for Hustler Casino Live that played with Garrett, play now with Airball, a lot of them are on Airball's side and saying how, and now all this news is breaking that, you know, well, Garrett banned me. Garrett didn't want to play with me. Garrett hated playing when I was there. Like, I heard multiple times that I was ready to go for a Friday game, and 4 hours before the stream starts, Ryan texts me going, hey man, you're not welcome tonight. There's something going on with Garrett and you just can't play. And because Ryan and Nick were catering to Garrett. And now all these players, you know, these players probably stayed loyal to Hustler and didn't want to break this news. But now that Garrett's kind of calling people out, all the people that play for Hustler Casino live stream are now calling Garrett out. So I guess what I'm trying to get out of this pod today is just all of the drama surrounding poker and all of the drama surrounded Hustler Casino Live. Because now you have just random people that have, you know, they like one side of the story for the Jack 4 hand, the other one, people like the other side of the story for the Jack 4 hand. Now they're all just calling each other out and wanting to play heads up, and you know, and it all revolves around Garrett and Nick and all these people. All these professional poker players are now trying to call Nick out because he's a rec player. And where do you get your money? Like, there's no way you actually have a job. Like, how are you have all this money? And really, who cares how he has all this money? You know, maybe he's a trust fund guy, but he said in the pod that he's not. He makes all of his money in like financial advising some big names in LA. But all these people are calling Nick out. And one of them was this guy, Matt Berkey. He's another professional poker player. And he's affiliated with Live at the Bike. He has, of course, his own podcast. All of these poker guys have podcasts, and they go on and talk all this shit to all these poker players. But then you see them in person, and they're laughing, joking, playing cards. It's just all drama. It's all a bunch of BS. But this guy is calling out Nick Airball and is calling out Doug. And on Doug's pod, Nick Airball is telling the world that he wants to challenge Berkey to any amount of money, any blinds heads up. Berkey makes the games. You know, it just has to be a Hustler Casino Live. And Berkey's like, why am I going to inconvenience myself and fly out to LA? He lives in Vegas. Fly out to LA and play in these games with you when I have all my own shit. He's like, I don't even know who you are, man. Like, no one even knows who you are. You play on Hustler Casino Live, big deal. Like, who are you? And then he's going, come out to Bellagio, play Bellagio. Come out and meet me in Bellagio, let's play. And Nick's like, I'll play you for any amount of money, blah, blah, blah. We just got to play at Hustler Casino. So because they're both just like, they're both just like, I want to play you. I'll play you with any amount of money, but I'm not leaving my home casino. Or, well, I'm not going to leave my home casino. So it's like just back and forth. And it's just a bunch of Twitter nonsense. But at the end of the day, what we're getting out of this podcast is we're going back to Jack Forehand. There's a lot of things we didn't know. And apparently, Garrett used to just be a very big drama queen, diva, try to call the shots with everything, banning people from games. People are like Airball and Vertucci and Doug, they're all saying that he would ban and X out high stake pros. Garrett would not play with pros, and they're all like, so why do you think Garrett's so successful? Why do you think Garrett looks like he's such a good poker player? Because he just wants to play with the recreational guys that have a lot of money and don't care to lose it because they're just out gambling to have fun because they want to gamble their millions of dollars they have nothing else to spend on. They want to gamble it away at poker. So Garrett always wanted to play with those guys. Well, so they're all saying, is Garrett really that good? Or is he just good at like manipulating people and calling the shots for all these streams that he's not even affiliated? He's not even affiliated with this stream. Why is he calling the shots? But I'm going to kind of end this pod with one last little funny tweet because Chris Moneymaker got involved. Because the other night, Nick Airball lost like $750,000. And then last night he was on stream. Last night he was on stream and he lost $250,000. And Chris Moneymaker this morning goes, I'm not the best cash player by any stretch. However, after watching Nick Airball blow off a house, I think I'm better than him. Should I go play on Hustler Casino Live Poker Show? And he did a little poll, and Nick Airball replied with, you must live in a small house. Because Chris is basically saying, because Nick lost $200K last night, and then Chris Moneymaker's like, he just lost a house. Nick's like, you live in a small house, man. And then Nick Vertucci laughed at it. But anyways, I mean, you got the big, you got Chris Moneymaker wanting to get involved in on the action. So, it's crazy. Like people, I just don't get professional poker play. Anyone can be a professional poker player. I don't get it. Like all these people calling each other out. Well, let's play heads up. I'd kill you. Like if I had the money, I would play any professional poker player heads up. Obviously, I play a lot of poker. I know that there is a lot of luck involved, but there is some skill involved. But there's a lot of luck involved, okay? I would never in my life challenge Tiger Woods to 3 holes of golf, Andre Agassi to a set or a game of tennis. Would I challenge, if I had the money, challenge a professional poker player at a game of poker? Yes, I would. Being a professional poker player isn't like you're lucky. You got the money. You can play in the big games to make more money. If you play in the small games for your whole life, make $20 a night, you're not going to make any money. If you have the money to play in these Hustler Casino Live games and you're making $20K a night, then yeah, you can become a professional poker player and make some good money. But I just think it's so funny when these pro poker players go challenge people, and like rec guys do, like Nick Airball. Challenge Nick Airball to heads up. Like, Nick knows what he's doing. He plays a lot of poker. He might not be a professional poker player and consider himself recreational. But don't challenge him. He could easily beat you. It's not like Tiger Woods challenging me or challenging Nick Airball to a round of golf. It's not like Mike Trout challenging Nick Airball or Nick Airball challenging Mike Trout to a home run hitting contest. It's just crazy. But anyways, a lot of drama in the poker world. I'll be keeping my eyes on Twitter because it's pretty entertaining. It's kind of stupid at the same time, but it's very entertaining. Episode 12, Punt Talk. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Maybe I'll see you soon with some more poker, but I will be seeing you soon to talk fantasy baseball. Got my fantasy baseball draft next week. Might do a little pod on that, and then we'll get right back into fantasy football. It's coming around corner here. A lot of free agency craziness going on this year. A lot of people moving, a lot of teams making moves. It'll be fun. So episode 12, Punt Talk with Neil. Thanks, guys. I'm out.